Hey everybody, this is Doing Lines. This is the sports betting podcast where we bet on all of the not sports and sort of a little bit of the sports of sports. I'm your host, Kyle Ayers, joined as always by my co-host, Austin Huff.
Hi, I'm Austin Huff, and it is a bye week for my team, which means I cannot be disappointed, right?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just crazy to see another former Tennessee Titan great wide receiver making his way to Philadelphia. It's just such a path for those tall wide receivers, with Julio Jones going up there.
Did the Titans trade DeAndre Hopkins to the Eagles? Did they do that? Oh, you're talking about Julio.
Assumed.
That's right. Sorry,
That's right.
It's to the point now where I'm just expecting any great Titans wide receiver to go to
If you're tall and skinny and play wide receiver for Tennessee, I hope you enjoy cheesesteaks.
Yeah, right.
If this is your first time listening and Doing Lines, thank you for being here. Every week, Austin and I lay out 6 bets, and we have a guest bet 1,000 fake dollars across those 6 bets for a fake charity. We keep track. We got a competition going to see who's the best at betting on not the bets and the sports of the bets of not the real things. I think that's a pretty good explanation.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say you nailed it.
We last week we had Jamel Johnson on, who is incredibly funny and just the best. And Jamel did pretty good. I'll go back and we'll recap through some of these bets here real quick. We had total negative plays in the Chiefs-Denver game. We called that shit plays. Would there be more shit plays than Russell Wilson had bathrooms in his home? We had that one set at 11.5 over. That's the over hit on that. And you know what? The over actually hit, not including kneel downs, which feels better. Because if Mahomes 2 kneel downs at the end of the game would have been the over, that feels a lot like a rushing yard law. You know what I mean? When people lose.
Right.
I remember in a Super Bowl, Mahomes had the over and then hit the under on rushing yards because of kneels at the end of the 49ers one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the problem with being really good. And see, the victory formation is a formation I haven't seen the Titans run in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. You and I both bet the under and lost on that. That was your lock. So
great.
Not great.
Awesome.
We had the birds versus airplanes, 24.6. Birds are killed every year by airplanes. Would there be more air points scored? There were not. There were 6. There were 6 points scored. So we all lost on that one. There was one passing touchdown in the Jets-Eagles game, and it was not from Jalen Hurts.
And we even extended that to allow field goals to count. And
so there were 2.
Yeah, right.
There were a total of 9 to 12 points through the air. So we all lost that. And then here we go. Fantasy group chats, over under 69.5. We blew past that. There were 90. So you lost some money there.
Yeah,
Lions,
there's been some bets in the previous weeks between that, your group chat bet, and the Bailey's picks, your roommate Bailey, her blind picks, which we didn't know who she picked each week, and we had to bet the over-under on it. Those are ones that I wait on pins and needles for every week when we record.
Even if you take out
find
all
the
of
results
mine,
of those.
If you take out all of mine, which I would consider the kneel downs of the group chat, kneel downs is also what they called the first guy walking on the moon.
Nice.
Wow. Here's a bet that we had was the Lions Bucks. The lying Bucks. Will the discrepancy between the NASDAQ start and finish on Friday be higher or lower than the amount of yards in the Lions Bucks games? It was higher, or the discrepancy in yards. This one went to NASDAQ.
Yeah. Classic NASDAQ,
It had a pretty big discrepancy, and they had pretty close to their yardage being the same.
Honestly, the only reason I did that bet last week was to get our SEO up amongst Wall Street bros. Because there's some overlap there. There's a Venn diagram. There's
especially if you could get Wall Street bros who are Cowboys fans, the NASDAQ fans. That would have been pretty good. Titans Ravens in London. Will Chris Moore have over 24 yards, including a potential boost? It doesn't matter. He had 6.
He got hurt in that game. That one sucked. He had to leave that game early because of a concussion, and I was like, damn it.
Yeah, which it's crazy I don't know what concussion protocol is in a country where everyone sounds like they had one earlier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. He got up and his teeth were all jacked, and everyone in Britain was like, "Why is he being taken out? He looks normal."
Is he something going wrong with his head? Isn't it? He's sounding funny.
I'm a little bummed we don't get a London game this week. In fact, the next Europe game we don't have until your Chiefs take on the
6
Dolphins
a.m.
in Germany.
West Coast time, Germany game.
Oh, that's brutal.
They don't have to worry about it in Miami because they're still up.
Yeah, right. Right. They're getting
But
home
here,
at that
I
point.
have to get up. And then we had the will the Raiders outrush Zach Moss? They did by 1 million. So last week, terrible week for you and I. I lost $250, which brings me down to $750 for the year. You lost $400, which brings you down to 0 for the year. So you're right. You're literally where we started.
Hey, do you think you could cop me a couple of bucks for this week? So just so
I
I
can't
can
do
make
the
my bets
math.
this
I'm
week.
already
Please,
in the middle
man,
of a
please.
number.
My family's in a tough spot, dude. I need this. My
Chicago.
my family is they're banking on me winning my bets this week just to get us back in the green.
Jamel, who hit his parlay and lost every other bet, made out with positive $1,500 because he hit a lock, he hit a parlay, so he had to double the winnings and then a 1.5 times the winnings on top of that. Came out with $1,500. So he's in first place now, parlaying those two bets together. Jamel Johnson, $1,500 winner. This week we've got another exciting parlay. Look at me parlaying this into an intro.
There we go. Wes Blankenship. If you do not follow Wes Blankenship and you're a sports fan, especially a college sports, especially if you're a Georgia fan, my goodness, if you're a Georgia fan, you need to be following this guy. If you're a college sports fan, if you are a high school sports fan, you need to be following that. And I not just high school sports in his region. I mean nationally, like you love high school athletics, your local teams, whoever it may be. You need to be following Wes. He is a hilarious content creator, the founder of Coffeetown USA. GoCoffeetown.com is the website. We'll get into all this in our intro to Wes, but he is a very funny, very creative guy, and I think you're really going to enjoy him on the podcast today.
Enjoy it, everybody.
We're joined now by a guy who I absolutely adore. He is a guy, one of my favorite follows on all of the socials because he is a fantastic content creator, a guy by the name of Wes Blankenship. You can follow him on all the socials at Wes_N_ship, which is just the most creative way to basically get his name as social handle at Wes and then a literal blank and ship. And he hosts the Georgia Show for On3 for any Dogs fans out there. He's also you got to check out GoCoffeetown.com. If you have ever played a high school sport or have any love for high school athletics, Go Coffeetown is this. It is a made-up world where there's a podcast featured on there called Go Fight Win, which talks actual high school sports and gets a lot of celebrity guests to talk about their favorite high school glory days, from Jeff Francoeur. I saw Cole Kubelik was on there. Just a number of big-name guys reliving the glory days. Because, let's be honest, it's hard to let those go. Wes, dude, thank you for joining us, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, fellas. Yeah, it gets better every year, right? Those glory days stories. Like I had a sack and a fumble recovery in my high school football spring scrimmage, but somehow through the years that's become, like 3 sacks and a pick 6 in a state championship game. I don't know where it all went wrong, but that's kind of what it seems like now.
Well, that's inflation for you.
That is inflation. Thanks a lot, Biden.
Yeah. Wes, Kyle, I knew Kyle for probably 4 or 5 years before I learned that Kyle was an All-American swimmer in high school. Something that does not get talked about nearly enough.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how infrequently high school swimming on a national level comes up in casual conversation.
I mean, I see those swimmer shoulders. There you go.
Yeah,
man.
That's just a shirt that's too small.
Kyle parlayed his talent in swimming into a career of comedy.
That's true. I found a whole other thing to barely not drown at.
That's all swimming is.
Yeah.
Right. No, but seriously, go follow Go Coffee Town on all of the socials as well, because the fake high school broadcast that you do for Coffee Town each week, I think I follow Coffee Town High School closer than my actual high school and how well they're doing in athletics. So you do a great job with those, Wes.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, so we are going to go ahead and lay down some bets. Obviously, you will have $1,000 of fake cash to compete against our previous guests and future guests with our fake NFL bets. Now, obviously, we are all people of means. I mean, I think, look, you've got a nice podcast microphone there. You've got you're coming from, what seems to be a nice bookshelf behind you with, probably some leather-bound books and things like that.
Somewhere around here.
Yeah.
I got
See,
one.
right. So we're all.
Hold on.
They're in the safe.
Oh, he's going to get it. He's going to get. Look, he's got a leather chair too,
a retinal
which is
scanner to unlock the
This
leather
is
book.
a Gideon Bible that my grandfather gave me. I'm like 8 feet tall, by the way. This is a
That's
real
an
Bible.
It's a
actual
fisheye
size
lens
Bible.
situation.
Yeah, but there you go.
Okay.
To Wes from Papa 2019.
Look.
This is my
Look at-
leather-bound book right here.
Okay, so there actually is a leather-bound book, which just goes to prove that we are all people of means. And since we are people of means, we like to donate the fake winnings that we win in this podcast back to fake charities. So, Wes, is there a fake charity that you will be playing for this week?
Yes, I will donate all proceeds from my wins to the Brock Bowers Ankle Foundation. He's got that tightrope surgery that he's trying to recover from, and I offered to give him mine, but none of the doctors around town would actually do an ankle transplant. That's not something you can do in the States, and I couldn't get Brock in a van down to Mexico in time for the Florida game. So we will donate all proceeds to the Brock Bowers Ankle Foundation for Brock to get back on the field and help Georgia not lose any games for the rest of his Georgia career.
Juarez shouldn't be that far of a drive, right? From Athens? I don't know. Wes, I got to say this, though. I don't know how much Kyle and I will want to donate to that foundation, as we are two Mizzou grads. And,
Just give me a nice November 5th. I'll maybe donate a little bit in that direction, but let's take our time with these things. With these foundations.
Look, you don't want to rush Brock back at all.
Due diligence needs to be done for the logistics, the paperwork.
I understand all that. There's a lot of red tape.
Yeah, I don't think Georgia even needs Brock in their game.
Georgia's never been
Missouri
one
Tigers.
play, although last year it was a bizarre game.
Yeah.
Last year was like, is Missouri the greatest football team of all time? And then at the end, I was like, no.
No. Then Missouri.
It's the real
Missouri
they are
for
who we
sure.
thought they were, but not in the fun way.
Yeah,
That's just the SEC, baby.
Yeah, right. Exactly. All right. So Wes, this is all this fake money is going to go towards Brock Bowers.
Old B-Bath.
Yeah, and which is good because then you won't. Well, I guess with NIL now you don't have to worry about paying players anymore. So, all right, Wes, we're going to lay out our bets, and you will have. We have 6 bets for you. You can bet as much or as little on each bet as you would like. We do ask that you bet on at least 2 of them, but it doesn't have to be on all 6.
Okay.
And then one bet will be your lock of the week.
Can I do like a parlay on all 6, just with all my
more than allowed to
$1,000?
do a parlay. That
Yeah,
could get you way up top there.
If you would like to do a parlay, you can.
How's everybody else doing? Like, what am I up against here?
So we have got what? We've got, I think, of our 5 guests thus far.
$1,306 would put you in first place if you can net a positive of 1,306. You would have to lose. You would have to cut off Brock Bowers' ankle to be in last place.
It is, yeah. We've got 3 people in the green and 2 in the red so far. So and the big thing there is the lock of the week. The lock, you will get twice the winning or 3 times the loss. So on your most confident bet, you want to make your lock of the week, and you do have to pick at least one lock. Or well, you do pick one lock of the week.
Got it.
And then we'll go ahead and lay out the bets first, and then we'll get your bets after that. Okay.
Got it.
All right, Kyle,
All
why
right.
don't you go ahead and get started with the
Let's
first
get
bet.
into my bets here. Big Chiefs fan. Chiefs are playing the Chargers this weekend with Tony Romo calling, and what I call the internet is so fucking sick of this bet. I just can't think of something people are more tired of as someone who gets yelled at by fans who are exhausted by the Chiefs and the media. Welcome to the Taylor Swift attends the Tony Romo called afternoon Chiefs division game. This is going to be the most exhaustive possible thing for non.
I don't know, Jim.
I have a over under of 10.5 Tony Romo unbearable noises. So, well, Tony Romo.
That's not even subjective. Like we just know what that means.
No, people have. This is. I didn't even have to call it anything. Over under 10.5 unbearable Tony Romo sounds. Hear me out. If he says the sentence, "He's the only guy who can do that," that counts as 2 unbearable sounds.
Okay. So we're looking at, gosh, you just need about 3 a quarter.
Yeah.
In halftime, pregame.
If this was
I'll take the over on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got to think, because like if on a review, you're probably getting maybe 2. Like if it's a toe drag swag review, that's like you're going to get at least 2 on one play.
We are 2 or 3 Mahomes stupid incompletions that Tony Romo considers him the only guy who could do away from
That's
that.
true.
He's the only guy who could throw an
away?
interception that good.
Did you see how the way he threw that away was? And here's what I generally, I'm as big a Chiefs fan you're gonna find. I think all quarterbacks are really good at, not all, but there's like 10 or 12 quarterbacks that do these things that lots of times the announcers are like, he's the only guy who can do. No, quarterbacks are processing an insane amount of information. I wish we talked them all up like this. A lot of them don't. But there's a lot of guys. For 15 years, Stafford has been processing information at an underrated rate and throwing the ball with weird eye look-offs. But people, the smoke that goes for Mahomes, I think that there's like a lot of guys do. I just wish people knew how hard it was to be quarterback. Anyways.
So Mahomes, the thing about Mahomes is like the way he plays football is like an athletic ballerina. And I think that's actually kind of redundant, because if you're a ballerina, you're way more athletic than me. But he just kind of prances around and just annoys the hell out of you.
I think that it's so
weird that he wears
frustrating
a tutu also
to root against him. Yeah. I wouldn't. At least he runs like he's in a tutu. Like this man moves as though he is sneaking into a home as fast as possible. Between him and Travis Kelce, I've never seen 2 people run slower and get hit less.
When you're playing the Chiefs, it's the most infuriating thing, honestly.
I've equated like if you're playing the Chiefs, it looks like you're watching that boat turn around in the Panama Canal all the time. So I got 10.5 Romo sounds. I'll give you, it counts as 2 if he tells you that. I'll say him or Herbert, because Herbert is ridiculous throws. If he says he's the only guy who can do that about either of them.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I like Romo. The whole CBS having to check in on him and make sure he wasn't playing too much golf thing. Like who cares, And maybe he did get a little lazy, but he came out of the gates really hot for a former player, and
he was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was predicting plays before they happened.
I still think he's great. Sorry he's playing too much golf. He's better at it than he was at football, and he was an NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's the only guy who can do that.
Yeah.
Does that count?
Stromo Damas. What?
All right, we'll edit that part out. That's my first bet. My second bet, I tried to come up with a Falcons bet here. I just can't think of – I was trying to think of a team that I know less about than the Falcons, and then I looked at their opponent and I found one.
Yep.
I love the Falcons. I don't like the Bucks. Anyways, I came up with a bet here. Will either team, Atlanta playing the Bucks, will either team win by more than the amount of touchdowns scored?
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, so
doesn't matter who you
win
pick
by
to win.
3.
You win by 3. There's got to be. Will there be? So you can pick like I think I'll take touchdowns or I'll take margin of victory. What will be higher?
Okay.
Yeah, because I'll let you keep going. I know you said you wanted to lay them all out first. So
and then my last one, over under 1.5 all caps Skip Bayless tweets on Sunday.
Ooh.
The Cowboys are on a bye. Over under 1.5 all caps, Skip Bayless. He hits about 2 a day. But on weekdays, when the show is about to happen, he has a lot more. But he usually hits. He had none last Sunday. One last Sunday. But over under 1.5 all caps, Skip Bayless tweets. For those of you guys listening, Skip Bayless is a guy who throws away a jersey every week.
Yeah, he likes to yell on television.
This guy tosses away jerseys
Sorry, this is just over the weekend
Sunday.
Or just Sunday?
Calendar day of Sunday.
All right, got it.
Midnight to midnight.
And so it's important to remember the Cowboys are on a bye. But he hates Patrick Mahomes so much.
That's true.
This man, and you find who he hates, and this is another, like I said, Taylor Swift, Patrick Mahomes, game, so he'll find something to complain about. But with the Cowboys off.
Right. If the Cowboys were playing, that's my lock. You got to take the over on that. But without the Cowboys, because we've done the number of Skip Bayless tweets in a day. I like this wrinkle in it. I like the all caps aspect of it because you will get those occasionally.
The all caps sounds Skip. Like New Zealand rugby team if they wore hats.
The all caps.
The all caps. I'm a big all caps fan. All right, my bets. I'm first going with the insult to injury bet. So last week, Ryan Tannehill went down with an injury, forcing the Titans to put in second-year rookie Malik Willis. In 12 dropbacks, Malik Willis was sacked 4 times.
Not a good percentage.
Not great.
That's a David Carr career sustained percentage of sacks.
He had as many sacks as he had completions with 4. Wow. Now, out of 30 NFL teams that were in action last weekend, that was more than all but 8. So, meaning on his limited plays, I think he was in for 2 or 3 drives, maybe?
2 drives.
Yeah, I think it was just 2 drives. In 2 drives, he was sacked as many times or more than every team but 8. So the question this week is simple. The Titans are off. They are on a bye week this week. One of 6 teams on a bye.
Does he get
so
hit?
They're only 20. Yeah. Does he still get sacked? No. There are only 26 teams in action. So the question is, how many teams give up fewer than 4 sacks this week? So basically, how many teams are better at protecting their quarterback than the Titans were with Malik Willis in the final 2 drives? I'm setting the over-under at 5.5. With 26 teams in action, 5.5 teams, will they give up fewer than 4 sacks?
That's a lot of numbers. I'm not going to lie to you.
That is a lot of numbers.
Austin had a bet last week that involved the discrepancy in the NASDAQ from open to close on Friday.
Who'd y'all have on? Warren Buffett?
No, because he knew on Thursday the result of the Friday bet. We had Nancy Pelosi on. She told us exactly where to lay the money on the stock exchange for Friday.
All right. The Colts play the Browns this week. Now, let's take it back in history. Yeah, right? It took 14 Mayflower moving vans to move the Baltimore Colts to Indianapolis back in the day. This, of course, led to the chain reaction of having the Cleveland Browns move to Baltimore and rename the Baltimore Ravens. So my question is, do the Browns play better defense this time around? The Browns have the best defense in the NFL. So in honor of the 14 Mayflower trucks, this one's simple. Do the Browns prevent the Colts from moving the chains 14 times? All right.
Put some thought into this one.
That's such a long walk to just a bet that you could probably actually bet on in Las Vegas.
Probably.
Oh, they'll take your money on anything.
Yeah.
Right. I honestly, we should run this podcast by Vegas and see if they would take any of our dumb fake bets and allow people to put actual money on it. Now, for context, last week, the 49ers and their incredible offense only got 15 first downs. And the Ravens the week before that got 16. But the 3 opponents prior to that, with this Browns defense, which is just absolutely insane.
And this is a Minshew Colts game, right? Richardson's done for the year.
Yes, Richardson is out for the year.
Man.
6, 9, and 6 in the 3 games prior to that. So they
That's
averaged
21 in their first 3 games.
They averaged 10 first downs per game, basically. against their opponents. So this Browns defense is insane. Do they get 14? So the over and under will be set at 13.5.
Okay.
All right.
And then lastly, my pop culture bet of the week.
I always sigh before this one because I'm like, this is actually the one that's his longest walk every single week is to this one.
Now, see, you'd be surprised. The topic it is about is long, but the bet itself is actually short. This weekend, the long-anticipated Martin Scorsese movie, Killers of the Flower Moon, finally opens. Now, obviously, it's highly anticipated because it stars Brendan Fraser, but also, like a Scorsese movie, it stars Leonardo DiCaprio and is very long. We're talking
Every picture I see of Leo in this movie, he just looks like this.
I know. It's like they made him sit through. It's like he just realized how long the movie is every time they're about to take the photo.
Like, is it makeup? Is it prosthetic? Or did he just get that sauced in preparation for this film?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's basically takes place in the Ozarks, essentially, Osage.
Osage. Yeah.
Osage. Osage.
Different places, I think.
Yeah, I think
much different
Leonardo
places.
DiCaprio was funneling money for the drug cartel in the Ozarks. Is that
It's
this
a
one?
prequel. It's in the Ozark universe.
Right.
The OCU.
So, that the movie's runtime is 3 hours and 26 minutes long.
Oh, man.
The question this week: the over/under 1.5
Trips to
How
the
many-
bathroom.
yeah. How many games in the NFL will be longer than 3 hours and 26 minutes? Now, for context, last week, only one game was over that length. 49ers Browns was 3 hours and 29 minutes. Even Bills Giants, which saw a player get taken off in an ambulance on the field, like an old Madden game, was only 3 hours and 14 minutes. So are there more than one game, basically, longer than 3:26? Over and under set at 1.5.
Okay.
All right. Those
All
are your
so
bets.
Let's recap those. We got the Romo sounds at 10.5.
Yep.
We have the margin of victory or amount of touchdowns scored in Falcons Bucks. All caps. Skip tweets at 1.5. Over under 5.5 teams who allow less than 4 sacks. You don't have to bet on that one. There's the over under 14 first downs in Colts Browns, and then we have the 3 hour and 26 minute run time at 1.5.
All right. I'll just go backwards or just go off what I can remember. So I'll go first with the Flower Moon. I'll go over on that one. So I'll say 2 games due. I think maybe there's an overtime game. Maybe something squirrely happens in another one.
You
So
see
I'll
a lot of
go-
like this, like you look at like a Chiefs Chargers, there's going to be a lot of passing.
Mhm.
So you
Well-
feel like they're going to take every commercial break they can in a game like that.
Dolphins Panthers last year, which we had a lot of scoring, 42-21, a lot of touchdowns scored. You would think, oh, that's got to run up the game time. That game was only 3 hours and 1 minute.
Where do you find these stats?
Hey, look, I got a guy.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 200 on each of my bets, and I'm not going to do the sack one because that just confused me. Turn my brain into grits. So I will skip out on that one. I'll do the first down, the Mayflowers. I will say the Browns do not give up whatever it was, 14?
14, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say they don't do that.
Okay.
The
and how much do you want to put on each of these?
He said
I'll
two
just do-
across, so we're
I'll do
gonna have 5
200
bets
on
for
each
2
one.
Oh, 200 on each one. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
and I'll do my lock on that one.
Okay.
All right. The other one was Falcons Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Say over on that.
Do you think it'll be more touchdowns or a
More
higher
more
margin of victory?
touchdowns than
whoever wins by
Than
his
margin of
points.
victory.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. 200 on the touchdowns.
And then the Tony Romo one, I'll go over on that. And then the Skip Bayless, I'll take the under on that.
Okay. All right.
Great. Any of
Brock
them you wanna
Bowers is
parlay
getting a new
together?
ankle, baby.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Brock Bowers. He's going to be back by that Missouri game without
And
question.
If you want, last week we did have a first successful parlay. You can connect any of them together if you want to get even an extra multiplier.
All right,
But
so
then
let me do the parlay on the Browns first downs. God, I'm trying to remember what I did. The Browns first downs,
Game
the
length.
Falcons won.
Yeah.
I'll do my parlay on those two.
Okay, cool. Wow, with the parlay
Okay.
with the lock, that can get you up here near first place.
This is like that guy who gave that parlay to get enough money to get out of jail.
Man, what a rush. Did y'all see the guy that had a $15 bet or something, like a $5 bet, 15 parlay, and you won 6 figures on it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't gamble, but that's the kind of thing that makes me want to risk it all for my family,
Right. I don't see
or
how you
risk
could
my
lose.
family. Risk my family for.
I want
for
a
lot of
Twitter
money.
account that just posts every loss. Just 100 million tweets a day. That
Yeah,
like a
I'd make
robot
that.
that posts every single loss of a sports bet.
Yeah. Do you think I could bet my wife on that sack bet?
Bet my wife, please.
Yeah.
Some manners around here, okay?
Yeah. Guys,
Just
go.
walk up to the sports book. What are you laying down, sir? Well, here she
This,
is.
this man
Here
wants to
she
get
is.
this man wants to get parlayed.
Her name is Stephanie. Wes, dude, you are the man.
Yeah,
Guys,
thank you for
everyone
coming
go check out gocoffeetown.com on all the socials. Go Coffeetown. Honestly, it is, if you have even the slightest interest in high school athletics, it is incredibly funny. The creative content that he puts out there, the actual content with the high school news and stories. It is.
Yeah, it's not
very
like
well
Friday
done.
Night Lights. It's not the motivational, inspirational
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, I
right.
have that from time to time, but it's the stories that you just can't believe are actually true.
Right.
That are on there this week. David Pollock's the guest this week, and one of the stories is about a coach who put 94 points on his opposition because he was getting revenge for some games they had to forfeit. You know, it's that kind of thing. So
Right.
It's a lot of fun.
It's the headlines that like go viral each week,
Yeah.
where it's like this high school in Florida did what? Like the the one that I remember, the referee ripping the dude's helmet off.
Yeah.
In a game, like like the type of stuff that doesn't like.
There's
just
less
crazy high
oversight. There's
school
grainier
sports
footage,
stories.
and that makes it all so much more fun.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
right. And the calls of the Coffeetown high school football games alone are worth the price of admission. Go Coffeetown on all the socials. Go coffeetown.com for links to everything that you'll see there. And then of course Wes_N ship on socials. Guys, give him a follow. He is the man. One of my favorite content creators on the internet. Which, Wes, you used to work in news, right? Were you a sports?
Yeah, I mean, my life was kind of divided by COVID. So I was in local news for about 7-8 years in Atlanta and Macon, Georgia, doing sports. So, I was covering the Braves, covering the Falcons and Georgia and all that. And then they didn't renew my contract, but it was right before COVID, before we had our first child. So in a way, it's really glad it happened because I had a lot more time with her, and local news is just going up in flames. So jumped off of that, and now just trying to figure out this digital content creation like the rest of us. But at heart, I'm a storyteller and love the opportunity to come on and meet new people like y'all.
Well, as a guy who was following you when you were still working in news, like I'm so much more appreciative that you are no longer working in news, because now you get to put out more hilarious, great content. So
They didn't like
thank
that when
you.
I was doing it. So
Yeah, I didn't. I can imagine they did. I cannot imagine they did. So, Wes, you're the man, dude. Thank you for
Thank
your
you for
time,
being
and we'll
here.
keep you posted with how you do with your bets. Best of luck.
Yep. Austin, Kyle, thank you so much. Y'all have a great weekend.
All right, another big shout out to Wes. He's got a possibility here to really slide into first place and get a good lead with that parlay. All right, Austin, it's time for us to drop our bets. We'll go through these real quick. If I could be raising money this week for the Brock Bowers takes this time coming back from his ankle foundation, the BBTHTAF. Is that the Bibithat?
Yeah.
which I believe was Howard Taft's nickname, was Bibbathaft.
Yeah, it was. That's famously, yeah.
All right, I'm going to put $200 as well on the Romo over on the noises. I am going to I'm going to take the points. I think one team is going to blow out the other for some reason in this Bucks-Atlanta game, so they might win by like 10, and I don't see 10 touchdowns happening. So I'm going to put $150 on the margin of victory on that one. I'm going to also take the under on skip tweets for 150. I don't know what the insult to injury one is. I don't remember. 5.5 sacks. Will 4 teams allow less than 5.5 sacks? Is that what it is?
It is.
Or will 5.5 teams allow less than 4 sacks?
Correct.
Yes, I think that will happen. So I will say yes. Over.
So you're taking the over. Okay.
5.5. I'm going to do 150 there. I don't really know what that means, like I said. I'm going to take the under for 300 on the Browns first down. So it's 3, 6, 7, 8, 950. And I'm going to put $50 on under on the game length.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's mine.
Right.
That's probably some stuff.
I'm going to go. All right, here we go. I'm adding my totals up. All right, so I've got $100 on the under for Tony Romo noises.
Okay.
I'm going $300 on margin of victory. I think that will be more than the numbers of touchdowns scored.
Okay.
I think I'm taking the under on 5.5 teams that will allow 4 sacks or more.
Okay.
I'm going to take the
What do you
under
got for
on
money there?
$200 there.
Okay.
So I'm at 600.
Yep.
I'm going to do Browns 14. I'm going to take the under 200.
Okay. How much?
And then $200.
Okay. You got 2 left.
And then oh damn it. I might have to change my prices, but I'm going to do I have 200 left, right?
Yeah. Just drop a hundo on each of these. You're good.
Okay, I'll do a hundo. I'll do a hundo on 49ers. I think the under. I don't think there will be 2 games over 326. That is an ungodly time. If my wife says, "Hey, let's go see Killer's Moon," I'll say, "No, let's just watch an NFL game instead." It'll save more time.
And so, do you want to put the other 100 on skip over or under on these tweets?
I'm gonna do the under. I'm gonna do the under. I think he does 1 or fewer.
All right. We got a lot of good bets this week. Last week we hit on some good ones too. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
Let us know what bets you got, what's going on. And we, find Cork Bets on Instagram. Find them on Zitter. I'm Kyle Ayers. It's Austin Huff. Thank you so much.
Love you.